Well, we're going through the Dufferin Gates to the Canadian National Exhibition. There's also a streetcar here that takes you, lets you off and lets you go into the fairground. Now this is like the St. Louis Arch. If you can take a little photo, une photo de cette truc, cet édifice ici. This is kind of like the, the St. Louis Arch, but smaller. Now the CNE, when I was a kid, in the last century, was a wonderful place to test out new types of strains of vegetables and such. You'd get little cups of carrots and peas and things to eat that were grown in Ontario and what have you. It was also the place where they launched automobiles, and then there was also entertainment. But take a look at the what will we call it, the archaeology of the place. This building here, if you can believe it, used to be the press building. It's called administration now, and I'm not sure if they've actually changed that, but I think that was the press building until recently. Can you imagine building a glorious building like that to house people who are lucky to be in out of the rain and not doing any heavy lifting and making probably minimum wage, and worked in a business they called the newspaper game? It wasn't a career. It was, even Pierre Burton, as recently as his life, referred to working in the newspaper game. Not exactly a distinguished career. Okay, so this is the fabled elevated roadway called the Gardiner Expressway, and it's really a shame that it's called the Gardiner Expressway, because Fred Gardiner, or Big Daddy Gardiner, who was the Metro chair, sometimes compared to Robert Moses, but I think that that's a spurious comparison for numerous reasons, which I will describe to you when you have me over for a beer. He was much more associated with the Don Valley Parkway, which we'll see on another escapade, but this thing got named after him. Now finally the CNE has put a hotel here. It's called the Hotel X, and that's because, you know, it's a hotel operating under an assumed name for whatever reasons. This is the horse building. This is where the Royal Winter Fair happens, and in the olden days you would say, I'll meet you at the Prince's Gates. The Prince's Gates are over to the left. Or in my mother's day, I'll meet you at the fountain. And the fountain isn't on now because the exhibition isn't on.